mark the spot.
She'll be it. She's not here yet. Coming to a head, which it should have been a long time ago.
Oh my gosh,
they've been attacking us systematically for a while. So now you guess what? Now we got to deal with it.
Amen to that. We gotta have the strength and numbers. Ooh,
yeah, no problem. What's up, bud?
You moving up front? We're good. I kind of know there's some stuff going on. Just like
if you want to speak, yeah, there's a sheet over there.
I'm gonna go get Lucy first.
Oh, she needs a ride?
She gonna lock the keys. She said, look, she said, message with the sandwich.
Did you hear that story? Did she tell you who had her coat? Exactly.
They start the hearings
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office, city clerk's office, public library, and all Englewood public schools, and emailed or faxed to the Record, Suburbanite, presidents of the ETA and EAA, presidents of the parent-teacher organizations, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Roll call. Mr. Barrios? Ms. Craig Berry? Mr. Rodriguez? Ms. Marone? Mr. Watson? Ms. David? Ms. Schwartz? Ms. Lerner? Ms. Donaldson? We'd now like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? Approval for the minutes, Mr. Barrios? Ms. Craig Berry? Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Marone? Mr. Watson? Ms. David?
Yes.
Ms. Schwartz?
Yes.
Ms. Lerner? Ms. Donaldson?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the board secretary report?
Mr. Barrios? Ms. Craig Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez? Ms. Marone? Mr. Watson? Ms. David?
Yes.
Ms. Schwartz?
Yes.
Ms. Lerner? Ms. Donaldson?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So I want to lead with some good news. Our QSAC scores, it's been a long road. We're finally at high performing in each area. Mr. Kravitz will get into details during his report, but I just thought it was something that we should lead with because it's good news. So as we continue to push forward and trying to continue to resolve the issues that happen in our district, this past month, some of the board's priorities have been AP. We continue to have conversations with parents and teachers, students, community members. I think we've come to an agreement on how to resolve everyone's concerns, and Mr. Barrios and Mr. Kravitz will provide some details during their reports. Grading and intervention. So we started last year having very passionate debates about the logistics of this policy. The academic committee met, we talked through it. And so I think we are there, and in the coming meeting, we'll have it on the agenda. But in addition to the grading and intervention policy, we also discussed a comprehensive process that will track how our teachers and students are pacing to the curriculum. My hope is to determine immediately when a student or a class of students begin falling behind and develop a mitigation plan that will support our teachers and students and ensure everyone is academically at level. We've asked the administration to take a first pass at what that process could look like and present during our next meetings. The other thing that I wanted to give an update on was the middle school gym. So good news there as well. Facilities were able to get the fans on the roof of the gym working. They will test it next week, hopefully when the weather is warmer, and confirm that it's actually cooling down the gym. And then school resource officer. So board leadership we've been working with the city leadership to determine how we may potentially employ level 3, class 3 school resource officers and utilize a shared service model. And then the other thing that we've had tons of conversation on is the budget. So now for the committee reports, we'll start with academic.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. The Academic Affairs Committee was held on April 9th, 2019, at 6:30. Topics discussed were, first, intervention policy, the Academic Affairs Committee and the superintendent seeking to update the intervention policy to address the academic performance of Englewood students that are at risk of failing and dropping out of school. This policy will establish intervention teams at each school that will consist of administrators and teachers that will take preemptive measures to prevent a child from failing. This measure includes administrators and teachers reaching out to parents to inform them of their child's performance and provide guidance on how to improve students' performance. The intervention policy is also intended to help student athletes and students in extracurricular activities to maintain their eligibility. The second discussion dealt with the AP. The committee discussed the scheduling of AP classes to make it more favorable to students so that they can achieve AP credits prior to the 12th grade, while making 9th grade AP courses optional while making incoming AP courses optional for 9th grade students. Oh, I'm sorry. The meeting ended at 10:30 p.m.
Communication.
Hey everyone. The Communications Committee met on March 29th, and just a few things to update on since I reported last month. We are exploring possibly working with a PR company to help us with some of the issues as far as the website and helping us with our communication approach that we would like to provide to the district. So we are going to possibly explore some companies that are within our budget. We are also thinking about having a principal come to our meeting in June to give an update on the school's successes over the year, just to bring some positive light from one of the schools, since we have never done that before. So we're thinking that might be something, if it works well, we could do that possibly once in a while, bringing in different principals every couple of months. And the other last piece is that we're working on a policy. I mentioned last month about having a student representative sit with us at the meetings, so that the student can give us updates about what's happening in the schools, about issues that we all might miss and don't hear about. We do need a policy for that, so if we can get that organized, that would hopefully be aimed for September. And that student would not be voting, but would be sitting and giving us all an update on what's going on. And that is all for now. Thank you very much.
Finance.
Hi, the Finance Committee met to review the detailed budget presentation that is going to be presented here on May 1st. Since it is going to be it's going to be very detailed, and so we welcome your participation and your questions at that time. Not very much to offer on that subject at this moment.
And personnel.
Hi. The Personnel Committee met March 25th, and we spoke about the flexible spending account, the BCASA job fair, organizational chart, district staff, and non-tenured personnel, retirements and resignations, long-term substitutes and paraprofessionals, and also the contracts. We also spoke about the flexible spending account. The AmeriFlex spending account contract has been created and is pending review and approval from Mr. Kravitz and Ms. Spoleto. The timelines for implementation are as follows: advertising of upcoming FSA, April 1st to the 30th, 2019. Enrollment for FSA, electronic enrollment form, May 1st to 31st. Plan implementation, July 1st, 2019, June 30th, 2020. We also spoke about the job fair, which will be held April 6th, 2019. The organizational chart was also presented by Mr. Kravitz, and the buildings, and he also presented the number of employees who have submitted retirement documentations. Mr. Kravitz says it's been challenging to obtain long-term substitutes at the current $130 per diem rate. He also proposed a tiered system for long-term substitutes, whereby the per diem rate would be determined by certificates. Mr. Kravitz provided that it's also challenging to obtain special education aides for one-on-one or a 2-to-1 position. Mr. Kravitz also proposed a tiered system for special education aides, whereby the per diem rate would be determined by certificates and/or training. It's very limited what I can talk about in personnel, but that's what I have for now. Thank you.
Negotiations.
The board attorney has sent our salary guide to the ETA and their attorney. We are looking forward to a response, hopefully very shortly. At the beginning of May, we are also going to be meeting with representatives for the administrators to begin working on negotiating their contracts.
Now for the superintendent report.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for coming out. Leading with some great news about the CUSAC, as you mentioned, Ms. Donaldson. If you look at our agenda tab 3, you will see that our scores went from 64 to 80. Once the district goes over a 70, we are no longer on probation, so we fall into the category of every 3 years. If you go back to about 3 years ago, the curriculum and instruction program was an 18, so now we are very pleased that it is 80 in every category. We are 80, 82, 85, and 100. So we've had significant growth in our QSAC, which is our compliance scores, so we're very proud of that. As Ms. Davis mentioned, on April 6th, we had a job fair. Right Mall High School hosted the Bergen County Superintendent's Association Job Fair. 697 prospective employees came, and we had 41 districts from Bergen County attending. So we're very proud of that. We did a great job. And thank you to all the staff who were there, including our security guards and the administrators. We had our first round of testing in PARC assessments, now known as the NJSLA, in the middle school. A couple notes for the agenda. There's a calendar change. We did not use all of our snow days, so we are giving back to Friday. However, the middle school was closed one additional day because there was no heat. So in order to maintain the 108 school days, the middle school will be open on Friday for Memorial Day weekend. Apologies. Summer programs are also on the agenda, and we'll be going back to our one we did that we love the most, which is community-based instruction. We're invited to go into the community and work with our children on their summer packets. As far as high school, just a sampling of where we are with the college acceptances. We have at Cornell, UC Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara, Northeastern, Babson, BU, honors program for Rutgers, Wagner, Villanova, Johns Hopkins, Northwestern Medical, Drexel Medical, and Rutgers Medicine. And those are a mixture of AE and Wright Moral students. So we're very proud of that as well. So we're moving forward. As I say, one bite at a time there. We're getting to our end goal of success. Thank you.
Motion to review the consent agenda. Okay, so before we go to privilege of the floor, once again, I would like to remind everyone that your comment is limited to 3 minutes. Please wrap your comment up in the allotted time. We will answer all questions at the conclusion of privilege of the floor. The public participation portion is not intended to be a forum for extended conversation. Public participation shall be permitted at the discretion of the presiding officer. Public participation shall be extended to residents of the district, persons having a legitimate interest in the action of this board, persons representing groups in the community or district, representatives of a firm eligible to bid on materials or services solicited by the board, and employees and pupils of this district, except when the issue addressed by the participant is subject to remediation by alternate method provided for in policies or contract of the board. Aaron Williams.
Two things. First, I'm just here to remind board that I'm interested in the Academy Prep program next year. I really sorry. Okay, I just don't want to get anybody upset. Okay, perfect. I've heard chatter about how first and second ward residents are trying to ruin our public schools. As I reside in Ward 1, and I use our schools, all 3 of my kids, I don't understand that, so I'm here for some clarity. I have one question. How much money was funneled out of EPSD into the charter school this year? If you ask me, this is the greatest threat to public education in America.
Shakita Barnes.
Hi, I have a few things that I want to ask, but I don't think through.
Speak into the mic.
My first question is, why are we renewing the ESS contract when we don't have enough subs now. We don't have consistent secretaries. We don't have any resources from them. Our kids are being in classes together, overpopulated classes, and we're constantly renewing things, or we're doing contracts with spending more money. We're not buying resources. Having resources for our children is like we don't care about the children. It's always suggestions of, you guys, we got to contract someone else. We have to ask someone else, can we do something? It's never consistent. It's always we have to ask someone to do better for these kids. Have you guys been to the schools? Have you met with the teachers? Have you met with the principals? You're thinking that you want to incorporate from the communication committee, you're thinking you want to do this. Why aren't you doing it? Talk to the principals, talk to the teachers, talk to our kids. If you talk to our children, you would know everything about it. It's unacceptable that you're gonna have one student out of all these schools be a representative. You're gonna speak to one principal, right? Is that what you said? So you're gonna speak to one principal, possibly think of one principal, speak to one principal. That's unacceptable. Like, we just spend too much money on unnecessary things. We don't have proper curriculum for these children. We don't have resources. We don't have books for them. They don't have nutrition. You guys don't care. I can't say you don't care. Well, it appears that you don't care about the children, like all the age range of the children. My kids are in Quarles and in McLeod, and I am dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied with the whole process. Like months ago, my kids are in dual language class, and then they were combined because we promoted Ms. Carvajal to be a counselor. So my kid went into a dual, overpopulated class, 27 kids in a class. They did not have an assistant. Now they had an assistant, but that assistant was moved to secretary. Then now that teacher doesn't have anything, and 27 kids in one class. How is that productive? How is that productive? It's not productive for them. It's very, very sad. And we need to treat the children, the teachers, the principal, everyone with care. That's the only way our kids are going to learn and they're going to be nurtured. Thank you.
Trustee Garcia.
Good evening. A couple of things, like Mr. Gita brought up, the ESS renewal. To me, that's a waste of your time. In case you don't know what's going on, let me alert you. These kids are being abused, verbally and physically, by these staff. And you want to renew that contract? What are you showing the kids? Will he is okay? Is that what we're showing them? If it was your kids in this district, some of you don't have kids here, some of you may, how would you react? When your child is coming home saying, a teacher cursed at us, a teacher hit my friend. The lunching staff, you guys want to renew Promptonian. Was the subject about them pocketing money talked about? The fact that they take money from kids, don't put it onto their account, don't give them change? That's been brought up. When's it going to be taken care of? I'm going to keep saying, you guys were put there by us. Maybe not the small number here, but yes, you were put there by us, and maybe that was a mistake. I'm going to keep saying that until I am blue in the face. Our kids matter to us. If they don't matter to you, they matter to us. The after-school programs, tutorial, PART, they took sample testing. How do we know what they need to reinforce if no scores are available to us? We don't know what they're doing or not doing. An answer will be amazing versus this little roundabout circle that we get every month. These teachers are here for a reason. The kids are here for a reason. They speak to us. You say that you want to input from what's going on in the schools. We tell you every month. And it goes in one ear, out the other. Start listening to us because we're here for a reason. We are these kids' voices. We're their advocate.
If it's not for us, then who? You guys don't care.
I was one of the first 20 people here. I wasn't aware there was a list. Can I have the list? Where do I go to sign for the list? Thank you.
Amy Bullock.
On April 8, 2019, a letter was sent to parents stating that the district had received statements regarding an assembly that took place at Genesee Distance Middle School, and that the district would be looking to gather information and interview pertinent members of the school community. I understand that on April 9th, the board attorney and union reps were present at the school interviewing teachers regarding this assembly with disregard for the fact that park testing was taking place. These actions clearly indicate there was an attempt to target Principal Lamar Thomas. It is my understanding that these statements allegedly came from one parent and at least 2 Board of Ed members who have children in the school. If in fact that is true, and the district is taking action against Principal Thomas because of this, it is a clear ethics violation and official misconduct. By the district sending this letter to parents, it is evident that they are looking to specifically target Principal Thomas by soliciting comments. Having the board attorney and union reps come to school premises during school hours to interview teachers regarding the assembly is blatant harassment, intimidation, and bullying towards not only Principal Thomas, but the teachers as well. Obviously, none of you understand the proper procedure for conducting an HR investigation. It is an evident attempt to undermine Principal Thomas's authority, not only with teachers, but with the students as well. Question, does the superintendent have the authority to spend this money without a resolution? Board members, including the board president, supposedly calling residents to ask what are y'all planning in regards to the meeting tonight, and engaging in a defense of their actions pertaining to Principal Thomas is clearly a disregard for Principal Thomas's right to privacy. Board of Ed members are not permitted to discuss personnel with the public. Personnel interfering with OPA requests and selectively releasing information is a violation of the Federal Open Public Records Act. This is also allegedly occurring. It is my belief that the Board of Ed has shown a pattern of unethical and illegal behaviors, such as affording board members special privileges, allowing board members financial privileges, discussing personnel, harassing and managing by intimidation, etc. We will not allow you to continue such behaviors. If you want an investigation, then I would suggest the board attorney start with investigating the board, and he can start by interviewing board members. We will no longer stand by idly watching you destroy our community or our children's future. It will come to an end. We will actively and aggressively campaign to vote you out. Principal Thomas and the teachers in our district have the support of this community, and we can assure you that any board member or district leadership that opts to ignore what the voters are demanding and continues to engage in such behaviors or the targeting of select district employees will be held accountable via the appropriate channels as per the Administrative Code and Statute NJ 18A and the polls. You are here to represent us, not yourselves. We stand with Principal Thomas and the teachers.
That's a public school.
Charter schools are public schools.
Do you know me?
Rick Goldie.
Remove her.
She has the right to be here. She has the right to be here.
She don't have the
She
right.
has the right to speak, just like everyone else.
She has the right to yell at somebody. She doesn't have the right.
She has the right to speak.
You don't have the right to yell at nobody.
You all have the right to speak, fine, but the outburst is not going to help you. Okay? You all have the forum, you have the microphone, you can speak. The outburst is not the problem.
Tell her that. Tell her that. Tell her that. She outburst. She's going.
There's 2.
All right, Rick Wilby, Englewood, New Jersey. I know you guys couldn't wait for the 3 minutes to be up with Amy Bullock.
Are we sick and tired of you goddamn criminals up here on the board? Okay? Lamar Thomas is sacred ground. Get used to it. He's not going anywhere. We don't care about any punks trying to make complaints and doing stupid stuff. We don't care. You do whatever you want to do. Okay? So, you see what I mean? You know? You want to check your board? You want to check your board?
Closing public comment, thank you.
That's what they wanted to do.
How professional do you run? You can't put
Public comment over. Thank you. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Thank you.
Endangering my child. You talk about the welfare of other children? Yes,
You the dick. No, Rick. Reading comprehension.
You got a lot of nerve, brother.
Motion to go into recess.
This is what they wanted. They wanted to close session, public session. This is what they wanted.